is Yavo. I am back here with another review for season 5 of Raising Kanan. This is episode 3 now. Thank you for joining me. Again, I am super new to reviewing and creating content for YouTube, so just really grateful for you to be here and watching it and enjoying this season with me. So let's get started with episode 3. We open where Unique has officially left Queens. He's done with it, being with his family, rightfully so, very smart. And now Kanan and Breeze are on the block. They went and talking to Unique's crew that's still on the corner, still holding it down for Unique, and they're basically letting them know like Unique ain't out here. Like y'all need to get with it. Unique, this is not. They're like, oh, this Unique corner. They're like, where's Unique at? He's not here. So they basically offer Breeze and Kanan offer them to be like, okay, like we taking over. Y'all could come work with us because how is Unique gonna still be here and he on the run? And then one of Unique's dudes is like, well, if Unique not here, then it's my block. And they're like, and Breeze is like, oh, really? And then Breeze, insane self, shoots this dude in the head and was like, okay, yeah, the block. Sorry, I live next to the train. Sorry, y'all. Like, oh yeah, the block is yours. He shoot him in the head. The crew scatter. Kanan shoots at them, so I don't know if they shot anyone else. So they basically discard and dismantle what else is left of Unique's crew. So they officially taken over, and Unique is completely out the way. So now we move to back at the club, at Lou's old club that Rock and Marvin has taken over. They're there with Flossie Siegel, and they're basically from out of Flossie Siegel's Rolodeck of girls. They talking to them, basically letting them know of like this new opportunity to be a courier and like running drugs through the operation. Like basically saying like you don't necessarily have to still keep escorting. You could actually just be moving the drugs to these clients, and she's only letting like a select few of girls like just to test it out and see how it goes. So they're interviewing different girls. Flossie's kind of seeing the dynamics and how like Rock and Marvin conduct business, and Marvin's mouth, and she like, my God, today, aren't you a smooth talker? Marvin get to the point. He's a street dude. He's mad rude. And Flossie's just like, geez Louise. So she's kind of, everybody's kind of getting to know each other more. I think that's Flossie's first time meeting Marvin, so she's kind of taking in his energy. So they have like they basically get their first crew of girls to start operations for this basically. So we shall see how it goes, girl. So now we back at daytime. We back at Garcia house, and he's coming out his crib, and Juke surprises him, and he's just like, how are you here? She basically let him know, like, I know where you live, I know where you stay, you got a family, and you ain't got much with the amount of kids you got. And he's of course offended and feeling like he losing control of the situation, and threatening her like, oh, how dare you come out here, why are you here, and things got worse for you, just talking all this jazz. And she's just like, basically like, leave me and mine alone, like you keep bothering us, and it don't gotta be like this. Basically like, you ain't got much, I can like, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, like how about we switch this situation to that? Because basically like, we could find a way where I could get you some money and we can lighten this, and you could just leave me and my people alone and you stop this hunt of trying to find out stuff for Detective Howard. And so he gets super offended and like, don't come back out here, and I should arrest you, I should shoot you in the head, just trying to scare her, and she's not looking scared. So he's real pissed off about that. And she's basically like, well, I look forward to hearing from you, because she like, all of y'all cops are crooked anyway. So she's just like, I'll be hearing from you. So she kind of walks off or whatever. So cut to, we back at the club with Rock and Marvin and Flossie, and they're basically, they wrapped up talking to all the girls, and how they're gonna start business and everything. And They're all pleased with everything, and Rock heads out to go meet with some real estate dude. So she heads out, and Flossie and Marvin talking. And Flossie's like, "Oh, Marvin, like basically like I like your energy. I want to get to know you. Like we officially working together. So come by my crib later. We can, rap and get to know each other better." And Marvin's looking at her like, "What?" Like she's like, "I'm not propositioning you. I'm not going." And Marvin's like, "Oh, I don't have to pay for pussy." And she's like, "I'm not trying to get like proposition you or nothing. It's not about sex. I'm literally just, trying to get to know you. Like we're gonna be working together." Again, I do not trust Flossie, because why you wait to do that after Rock left to do that? Like I just don't trust her at all. So, and every time when they working with someone new, when someone want to talk to Marvel on their own, it never ends well. So I'm like, here we go. So, cut to now we at the diner, and Juke and Kanan are sitting down eating. And Kanan's letting Juke know like how the cops ran up to his crib and told him like, "Oh, go back to school." And the ones that were working with, who used to work with Rock, and like how they were saying they have nothing to do with Famous's murder. And Juke is like, "Oh, you believe them?" And he was like, "Yeah, I actually do." And then she was like, "Well, oh, if they didn't, and Rock didn't get them to kill Famous, like who did?" And he's like, "I don't know, and I don't. It doesn't really matter at this point because the boy is already dead and gone, and we don't know for sure. And I gotta be careful how I operate because if they find out what I'm doing now, like that's gonna be a problem. So I don't really, it's not gonna serve him to kind of keep beating down up that bush. So he's just gonna leave it alone." And she's basically just asking him like how you feel about their uncle dying, and he's just like, he's still feeling fucked up about it, but it is what it is. And so she kind of was like following back up with him, but before that, he apologizes for like pulling a gun out on Juke when he was angry that same night before he went to Rock's house before shooting his uncle Lou, and he was just like enraged, and he pulled a gun on Juke. So he apologized for that, and then Juke is just like, what happened that night when you got there, and he's just giving this phony story of like, "Oh, it's the same old, same old. Rock is saying she always has to clean up my messes, and we argue, but it's always the same thing." And like he's like, "It doesn't matter because she's dead to me. I'm done with her. We have no relationship, so it don't even matter." So he's letting Juke know he don't have a relationship, and they officially don't fuck with each other no more. So don't be asking me about Rock. He's done with his mother. Now Marvin done came into a barbershop. He's still on this where Unique at. So he going to barbershop with the barbers and the customers, and he like, "Anybody see Unique?" I'm like, "Child, you still on this?" And they're like, two of the dudes in the chair, they're like, "Oh, like we don't know where Unique at. We heard he on the run, and like nobody know where he at, but we heard that he working with this dude Breeze and your nephew Kanan." He's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, like and the dude's like, "I heard that too." And Mark was like, "What?" Like Kanan must be out of his mind to be working with fucking Unique. And who the fuck is Breeze? So this is news to Marvin. So we'll see how this goes. And now we cut to Rock. She's talking with the real estate dude. She's trying to get rid of that shop and see if she can get money for it. That's the only thing that Unique didn't destroy when he was on his. They was in their little rivalry war, and the real estate dude's like, "Child, it's gonna be hard to find a buyer. It was a shooting here," and she's just like, "Yo, figure it out. You'll get a good cut of the deal." He's like, "I may find a buyer, but basically we can't use no like financial institution, no bank, no nothing." She's like, "Just give me American money and we'll figure out the rest." So hopefully it that could get off her rock and she could get some money because she need money, child. She's like, she's trying to get back on her feet, so hopefully she can get some money. um and then we cut to Kanan and Breeze. They are in his pawn shop. They're talking. He's Kanan's like, um, you know, Kanan's like, what if Unique come back? And Breeze is like, well, we'll be ready for him. Like, Breeze doesn't care. He like, we'll be ready for him to finish what we didn't do that night when we went to his crib. And like, he talks to, basically trying to calm Kanan down. Like, we taking over. All these people were old, and we the young guns, and we taking over the game and the block, and they just gonna have to get into it. And of course, Taz Breeze's dude is hating on the side because he's seeing how Breeze is, you know, forming a bond and likes working with Kanan. He is not feeling that at all. He is not, like, you see his hater stares from the side. So again, this dude Taz is gonna be a problem. But and he's not taking heat. I just hope he takes heat to Breeze's threats. But and he know Breeze more longer than Kanan has. So I just hope he chill out because Breeze is insane. And plus, Breeze's character is fly as hell. You see his kings fitted. Like, before it used to be Unique was the flyest one on the show. Now it's Breeze. Breeze is fly as fuck. Like, what? Like, whoever is wardrobe for Breeze, chef's kiss A+. He is mad fly. I love it. But yeah, we shall see how it goes in this venture between Kanan and Breeze and Mr. Taz hater on the side. I'm not feeling good about this, child. So, child, Marvin pull up to Kanan's apartment, and he go in there, and he's like, you working with Neek? And Kanan's like, I don't know where you Neek at. I'm not working with him. He trying to talk it down like, oh, we just seen if Unique. I'm working with this dude named Breeze. He from Brooklyn. I'm trying to get my money up, basically. And I don't know where Unique at. We was just talking to see if you interested, but we not working with him. And cause Marvin's like, you gonna work with the dude who killed your uncle, and you know, Kanan's just try to talk it down like, I don't know what you talking about. That's not what I'm doing. And basically, he's like, oh, I'm out here about my business and we making money. And then Kanan's like, oh, we got a spot for you if you looking. Child, why did Kanan say that? Marvin got offended. He like, you trying to ask me to work for you? Like, nigga, I am like, that's when, that male ego was in full form. Like, nigga, you work for me, and I'm a gangster. I live and breathe this game. Like, you and your Pop Warner team, ain't nobody coming to work for y'all and work like nigga, you work for me, and nigga, like, you're never gonna be above me. You can't climb that high. Like, Marvin was on one. It was like the generation war, child. It was like old school versus new school, child. I was like, Lord, why they Kanan ask him that? So he was on one. So now they got some tension between them. As Kanan was like, look, I don't know where Unique is at, and I got stuff to do, and I'm not working with him. So I answered your question. So basically, please go. And he was like, all right, like, bye, gangster. Because I was like, I'm a gangster. So they got tension with each other. I'm like, eesh, here we go. Again, I don't know how this gonna go. They already got tension, and I don't know how it's gonna go when he find out, or how he gonna find out that this boy killed his brother. It's just, I am just not looking forward to that. All that shit is like, eesh. I'm just not looking forward to it, y'all. So we see this in this episode. Juke is back in the gay club. She's single out here again. I think she linked up with some Latin chick. I think I'm trying to remember. I think she messed with her before, so they see each other at the club, and go, and hunch on each other. And the girl is just like, oh, because Juke done got up, put her clothes back on, getting ready to leave. They back in the bedroom, and Juke is like, Juke heading out, and the girl's like, oh, I'm like, is it basically it's just gonna be sex, like I like you, whatever. And then Juke's like, why can't it just be we just have a nice time, enjoy yourself. And the girl's just like, well, I guess maybe because she like they hunching and you like I like hunching, so let's just be hunching. Like we don't gotta make it more than it needs to be. So I guess that's gonna be Juke's jump off when she get in the mood, child. Cause she can't do no relationship because it'll never work out and she don't want nobody in her business like that. So that works for where Juke is at right now in her life. It's better to just have someone like that than actually have a girlfriend. So that's where she at with it. So Marvin goes. We cut to Marvin going to Rock's house, letting her know that your damn son is working with some young nigga named Breeze, and she like, who the fuck is Breeze? And basically like, if um find out Breeze work is like connected or related to Pop and Snap, so they working with Stefano, and she don't want this to go down. She's like, they're gonna be a thorn in her side because Stefano trying to hate on her working in Manhattan. And that's another thing. Like Stefano goes to meet with Pino at his spot, and they talking, and he's basically being like, "Oh, I don't like you working." Like he's basically like, "I'm working." Pino's letting him know I'm working with Rock, and I'm trying to just be respectful and let you know. He's like, "Oh, like I don't trust her, and I didn't have good relations with her, and I don't like it." He like, well, that's nice, you don't like it, but I'm letting you know I'm working with her. So like, okay, like nobody cares. And he's like, oh, she the one who got me stabbed. He like, dude, you got yourself stabbed. You got messy. You having issues with that dude Sal in Jersey. You put yourself in that situation. You was doing the most. That's your fault. That's what I'm saying. Like Tony Danza don't never want to take accountability, and he stays trying to blame Rock for this. And it's like I don't know why he's still stuck on that. Like, dude, you did that to yourself, and you lucky you didn't die because you could have been dead. Like you got lucky. So, and basically, Pino's just like, well, I'm letting you know I'm working with her, and so uh, Stefano leaves, and he's just like basically, and then Pino's like one of his mans in them is like, oh, how did that go? And Pino's basically like, this fucking third tier nigga coming here trying to like basically tell me how to run my shit, and I'm Yankee Stadium. He basically like, I'm higher on the chain with y'all. I'm trying to be nice to y'all. I didn't even really have to tell you. Cause you some like third tier Queens nigga, and I'm fucking making real money and higher on the chain this mafia shit in Manhattan. So it's basically letting the audience know like where on the chain in this mafia shit these two characters are. But I'm not surprised because Stefano gives bottom feeding energy, so it does not surprise me at all. So back to we Marvin and is telling his sister Rock about what's going on with Kanan and his new dealings with Breeze and Pop and Snap and Stefano. And first day in the living room when she has like a flashback, she gets triggered and hears like when Lou was dying, got shot and died in her house. So she wants to go into the kitchen and talk. So they trying to, um, you know, figure out like how, hoping this won't be a problem of Kanan going and joining forces with them, and they know what he's doing. So they're worried like, is this going to be a problem? Because um, they just trying to see, because they trying to set up and get back on their feet, so they don't want any problems at all from Kanan or Stefano with what they trying to build and set back up and get on their feet in Manhattan. And rightfully so, I agree, because Kanan out to just be vindictive to his mom, and Stefano too. He's very, very like butthurt off of Rock working with Pino in Manhattan and how it got done so quickly. He's being super haterish. So, child, we will see how it goes. So, Mr. Stefano, the bitch ass of bitch asses, invites Kanan to his spot. They sit down and talk. He basically letting Kanan know that Rock is working in Manhattan with the dude Pino, and she moving work through Flossie Siegel and her girls out there. And Kanan's like, okay, well, she ain't working with Queen, so it shouldn't be a problem. Like, and Stephen like, yeah, I made sure like that she ain't working in Queens no more. And he's just like, okay. And he's like, I just want to make sure like Rock is not gonna be, you know, like your mom was a problem. I want to make sure you're not gonna be a problem as well. And Kanan's just like, ain't nobody give me more problems. Like I've got more problems with that lady than you do. And because Stefano feeling like he has an issue with, he like, I feel like she's embarrassing me because basically she worked for me and now she working for this dude, and he's in bed. He don't like that. He couldn't shut her down because he's a hater. Because he those kind of people like, if you don't work for me, you can't work nowhere. Like real patriarchy, hating ass male ego shit. Like Stefano was such a hater. Like, oh, I can't stand him. He's such a hater. Like, dude, she's out of Queens. Like, why are you worried about it? Like, it's not affecting you. Like, why? Like, why is he still so obsessed when you got what you wanted? You not working with her. Why are you still on it? So he's basically just trying to make sure, like, Kane is not an issue, so he can feel like he in control. But you not gonna be in the day to day and all this stuff with working with Kanan and Breeze and all of them. So again, you just being like, you can't never just chill. Like Stefano can never. That's his issue. Like that's how he get into problems. That he can never just chill. All day he paranoid. He gotta be his ego. His ego. It's just like, I just want somebody to kill him. Like he's just mad annoying. Like I cannot stand Stefano. So he's letting Kanan know what it is and want to see where he stand with Kanan because he want to make sure he always flex in control. So now we go to Marvin is at Flossie's crib for the first time. He's looking around her crib like, damn, this bitch got mad money. And he sees like a picture of Flossie's daughter, and Flossie's letting her know like that's at her daughter's bar mitzvah. He never heard that. She explains what a bar mitzvah is. Of like at 13, child goes in front of their family and kind of for their new stage of life and kind of gives a speech or whatever. So Marvin kind of understands. So they start talking more, and she goes into like, she knows men, and she thinks she likes Marvin's energy. It was like how you can work for a woman and also your sister. And she was like, because she knows she's been working in this business and working for men, and a lot of men can't do that. And she was like, either you know, care a lot about your business that you can like put your ego aside, like just giving him compliments galore. And Marvin's just like thinking like, girl, I don't have to pay for pussy because he's still thinking she trying to proposition him. And she's like, dude, you cannot afford me at all. Like, please, you don't even got the money, child. You in your wildest dreams. But again, I don't trust Flossie. Again, I think she gonna end up being just like everybody else to Rock. She's already trying to see. I feel like she's trying to like slowly see how she can see how profitable this business is gonna be with Rock, and then push her out and work with Marvin. And that's exactly what I think she's gonna do. I do not trust this lady at all. I think she's gonna be very disappointing because that's just how it goes. That's how this patriarchy stuff go, especially when it comes to black women and when we try to show we business. It's very rare that people can work with us and be supported. They always want to try to find a way, when they know they can't control us, to either push us out. And I think that's what is exactly going to happen. And Flossie is slowly trying to set up and see how she's going to do that. So now we see Breeze. He's meeting up back with Snap and Pop at their spot restaurant. They're checking and seeing how operations is going, and just trying to talk about seeing if they heard anything about Unique. And Breeze is like, I don't think he's not around. We met up with his crew and we got them to back off. He didn't really go into detail, not wanting to say how he killed one of them, but saying he handled it. And Pop and Snap is just talking like, we can't count Neek out. He, got shot and hid in the shadows for months and came out back out around and fucking shit up, which he did. So it was like, let's not count him out. Or, he could have just bowed out gracefully because he saw what was going on. Like, it just, he knew he was going to get hurt or put down pretty soon. So he just bowed out. And so his wife is like, oh, like he played bitch. And he's like, nah, he's like, he just was strategic and read the room and bounced. So and I like that he said it because I don't think he bitch. He just, it was the smart thing to do. Nothing. That game is not worth dying for. That's like, be there for your family. And at least he had family to go to. And I don't view that he bitched out at all. So Breeze is not concerned about that because he don't know the history of Unique. He like, whatever it is, he not here. We making this money, so I'm not really worried about it at all. So Breeze is not worried about it because he crazy too, so he could care less. So cut to we back at Marvin visiting with Flossie, and they about to say their good nights. And she, says sorry about losing his brother, and all those things, and basically, leaving off good. And she glad that she got to like chill with him and get to know him a little better. But again, I do not trust Miss Flossie. I think she is terrible and not what she looks like, what she appears to be. That's usually, I had a friend tell me that the devil is always pretty and attractive. That's how they get you. They lure you in with how they look, their aesthetic, have you get your guard down, and then that's when the horns come out. So I feel like that's how it's going to be with Miss Flossie, but I think her horns going to come out with Rock and not with Marvin because I think she sees Marvin and wants Marvin to work for her. I see exactly what she's doing. So I'm just keeping my good eye on Miss Flossie. So we see Rock talking to these two. She's in like a garage talking to these two dudes. I think she's trying to do something to mess with Kanan and his business with Breeze because she already compete pal. They probably gonna be a problem. And if he's working with Snap and Pop, she already know they being haters. So she trying to I think she trying to like mess with their stuff because she don't even want him in the game, let alone taking over Queens. I think her and Marvin feeling some type of way about that. So we'll see what comes of it. Cut to we see Juke coming out of her house. She get in the car with Detective Garcia. He gives her an amount, I guess, to start working with each other, and she say, "Cool word," and he's basically like threatening her, like, once you accepted that piece of paper, like, ain't no coming back. Like, if you fuck with me, I'ma kill you. So she get out the car, she shook. Like, she played cool, and if she got out, she like, Lord, what did I get myself into? I don't know why she doing that, because that nigga is crazy. Because isn't he the one who killed Famous? I'm trying to remember back to that season. Like, I think he the one who killed Famous. Let me know if I'm right or wrong. Like, I think he the one who killed Famous, right? Detective Garcia? Cause I forgot who. I knew it was cops, but I think it was him. But I could be wrong. But let me know if I'm wrong or not. But now she shook, so I don't know how this gonna go. I'm like, I do not think it's smart for her to do that. But she already knew he was gonna accept it because all these cops are dirty. Um, But I don't think she thought, because that last Latin cop chick wasn't as dirty, so I think she thought it was gonna be like that. But this dude is crazy. So cut to Marvin's at the church, talking to the pastor. Just trying to talk about his grief. He's just going through like grief and his own like reflecting on his spiritual journey and just trying to get through. And the pastor's trying to get through to him, but saying like, you got to forgive and make peace because, he's going is like, even if you do hurt, find out who kill your brother and hurt them, like you, that's not gonna solve anything. Like you gotta still find you trying. You're not gonna escape from the grief, and you gotta, basically like go into yourself, go into God, and try to make peace with everything. But Marvin ain't trying to hear that. He want his brother. He, is still on this vengeance path. So I don't know if he ever gonna make peace, and I definitely don't think he gonna make peace once he find out his own damn family killed his brother. So again, I am not looking forward to once that comes to surface. So now we see Taz. He dropping off, I guess, the prescription meds to their Italian connects, these two young Italian dudes. And so while they are exchanging the drugs, they pull up like in this alley, and they come out and they exchanging, and he giving them the drugs. They're like, oh, like, oh, we heard that you getting played to the left. Like basically, another dude in the crew, in Breeze's crew, let them know like, oh, we heard you getting played to the left by some new kid. Child, why they say that? Taz got mad as hell, and he punched one of them. Almost took out his gun, talking about ain't nobody playing me to the left, and he was because they basically was like you're nobody, like you're not a he, because Taz was like saying like I'm above y'all, and they're like no, not like you are not above us. You're like one of Breeze's henchmen, like cut it out basically. And so he got offended, hit one of them, about to shoot the other one. They was like cool out, we don't want no problems. And Taz's ego was bruising. He's like, watch who you talking to and how you talking to a black man. And he pulls off. So he was real salty about that, because now word is around like he don't have the same position with Breeze like he used to, and everybody knows, even internally and externally. So he is, I'm sure, really salty about that. So cut to, we at Juke and is at home hanging with Mr. Cooper. Child, that's a throwback. And Marvin comes in. He's in like, uh, uh, he's kind of down. He's in a solemn mood, and Juke is asking how he doing, and he's saying he's not doing good, and just thinking about a lot of stuff. She's like Uncle Lou. He like thinking about Uncle Lou, they whole family, Kanan, everybody. Like he's just, his mind is racing. He's just not in a good place, and Juke proposes like, oh, we should just leave and move out of here, and Marvin's like, child, like I'm not going anywhere. Like in trouble, wherever I go, trouble finds me. So, and he's like, why don't you go? Why don't you leave and leave us behind? Get out of here. Stay away from trouble. Which that's what any parent wants that. And Juke is like, no, who's gonna be here to have your back? And if I'm not gonna go, like I need you, and somebody gotta be here to have your back, and I want to work with you. And he's like, no, I don't want that for you. And she's like, well, I need you. I need my father. I need to be here. And I love you. Just laying it on thick. I think she mean it, but I think she also desperate and knows she got to figure out a way to pay off Detective Garcia because she done made a deal. But unfortunately, Marvin has no idea yet. And she just laying on thick so she can work and make money and give this dude Garcia something because she shook. So I think she mean, but I think she being extra and laying it on thick tomorrow because she want to get her way, child. Juke is, she know it's kind of easy to do that with men. It's easy for girls to get the tears flowing, and the father will, you can have your way with that. So that's what Juke doing. So we'll see how it goes with Juke working for her father and what position she gonna play, child. So now we back at Breeze's spot. Kanan is in the back office of the pawn shop counting his money. Here comes Taz rolling up, talking shit to him. Basically trying to be like, just trying to get in his head and see if he could punk him, and and Kanan is just like, dude, you messing up my account. Like, I'm not studying you. Like, back up and get all, like, back up. He's like, oh, fuck you, Kanan. Like, he basically let him know, like, Taz is on like, oh, you're not taking my spot and you ain't nobody, but clearly you threatened. And Kanan kind of just laugh him off like, I'm not studying you, do like back up off me. So Taz feels stupid, so he walk off. So cut to Marvin and Juke is at the bar, and Juke gonna be working there, being a bartender. He basically letting her know how to start working together in the new business he got set up with Rock, and she gonna work at the bar. She gonna be giving the girls the drugs and taking their money, and he got a dude there to help her with that. Showed her the gun under the bar if shit pop off. And basically that's how she gonna start working. So she's super happy. Like Marvin is not happy. Like I still don't want this for you, but she's like, I'm doing this for us. I'm gonna be here with you working, and she just laying it on thick because she happy that she gonna have money coming in to pay off Detective Garcia. So she is super happy about that. She got her way. So we are seeing what's his name, Breeze. Um, he is sitting outside in his car in the corner. The cops are everywhere where his crew was at, him and Kenan's crew, and police is around it because Rock done got her two henchmen to do to shoot the block and cause attention. So now that block is hot. So they gonna have him and Kenan gonna have to find another block for their crew to be on. Rock put a wrench in that, so because she do not want Kanan working, so I don't know why she messing with that boy, because that boy is just as petty as her. So Breeze looks very pissed about that. So we'll see what comes of that. And so now we cut to seeing one of Flossie's girls and seeing how this new operation set up. She comes into the bar, lets Juke know she there, and then goes down to Marvin's dude, gets the drugs, and she heads out. She goes downtown. She goes into this building. Looks like corporate building. Flirts with the security. Gets in. Drops all the drugs to this like finance white dude. This is back in the day, so she drops off the drugs. He's saying he gotta be there all night. He got his Scooby snack, so he gives her the money, and he start opening it up so he can get his cocaine as soon as possible. She takes the money, heads out, goes back to the bar, gives Juke the money. Juke counting. Juke letting her know like, oh, there's another drop off you gotta do, and that beautiful dark skin chick, she like, sorry girl, Flossie got I have a client where I actually have to do an escort. It's a new guy, I can't be late. And basically letting her know like, child, Flossie is Flossie is my boss, so I got that takes priority. So I get maybe Juke will let Marvin and Rock know, but even Rock earlier seeing Rock comes by the bar and being like, oh, like I thought you ain't want to have nothing to do with me, you're not feeling me, but yet you working for me. And Juke is like, girl, I'm working with my father. And she's like, all right, girl, if you say so. You don't want to have nothing to do with me, but yet you here. So, and Juke is like, and it's the truth, like she not thinking about you, Rock. Like, girl, she trying to pay off this detective so he will stop looking into y'all. She actually doing y'all a favor, and um, protect herself as well. So we'll see how it goes, but we got to see how the new operation is laying out. So we shall see how this goes, child. So we in the last scene of the episode, sorry, and we back. Rock and Marvin eating dinner. And Marvin let her know that he, went to see the pastor at their church, and just talking about how he teaching him about the power of prayer and coping with Lou. And Rock is just like, of course that's the business he in, because that's how Rock sees everything as business, even church. And I feel her on that. And they just talking about just how they viewing God in their life, and searching for meaning of life and searching for truth, and he's just feeling lost. He's feeling lost, and he's thinking like, are we all lost? Like, not just me and what happened with Lou. Like, are we all lost? And like, are we ever going to find ourselves? Like, can you find yourselves in the life we live at all, or are we just gonna always be like this? And they're just reflecting, and you know, for us they going back and forth about the whole notion of God, but I just feel like Rock knows that Marvin is spitting some truth, and I think Marvin is just starting to just with Lou's death, he's going through like a spiritual journey he didn't realize that that was going to bring in the grieving process of losing Lou. So because he doesn't have Unique is going, so Unique is not there to distract him from this inner reflection. So he's like forced to kind of be introspective at the moment. But I'm glad he's going. However, he's trying to get clarity and peace. At least he's going. He has the church as a place of solace, so I'm happy about that. And glad they showing that part of his journey because Marvin's very external, very reactive. So this is the first time we're seeing him kind of go inward, and how I'm curious to see how that looks this season for him. I think that's a very interesting change for him. Because we saw him in a place of being like angry and wanting vengeance, but now with Unique going, it's like he can't escape. Lou's death is making him kind of face things he's all this time been kind of dodging, and I think now also the same with Rock as well. So I thought it was a really well written scene and a good way to just kind of see where their minds are at this point in their lives. And it's a very transition time. They're setting up a new business, so it's like they're in a place of uncertainty. So everything's unsettled, like their business and also their spirit, so and the family and the future and the fate of the family. So I think that was a really dope, well written scene. And so we end the episode where that baddie dark skinned call girl, her new client across town that she let Juke know was actually Mr. Kanan. And so she knocks on the door at a hotel. He answers, and he's like, "Oh, what's your name?" And she's like, "Whatever you want it to be." So clearly, Kanan found out that Rock messing with their business. So and once he found out from Stefano, Rock doing her business in Manhattan. So now he trying to, figure out how he gonna mess with her business child. They are just two peas in a pot of pettiness. So we'll see how it goes. And that's the end of episode 3. So this is the end of my review. Thank you again. My name is Yavo, and thank you for watching my review. If you like my content, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will be reviewing the whole season 5 of Raising Kanan. This is my favorite, like I always say, favorite Power universe out of all of them. So hopefully you like my reviews, and stay along with me on this journey. All right, bye.